right, y'all. So the next explanation comes with this picture that I did not print out on the actual review. So you probably haven't done this yet, but I would pause if you want to try it first right now and then go over the answer when I'm done. But as you can see from this graph, what tire pressure occurred the most, that's going to be the tallest bar from the bar graph, so that's 34.5. What percent of motorcycles had a tire pressure of 33.5? So I go to 33.5 in the bar graph. I figure out that there are three motorcycles in that bar graph, and so I take 3 and then I count up all of the motorcycles in there. So what that looks like is that there's 1 here and then 2 here. Sorry, I don't have my pen. And then 3. Whoops, not 3. There are 8 here. 3 here. Sorry, y'all. And then 10. 8. Oh, it's hard to do this with just the mouse. 8, 8, 7, 2, 2, 1. Okay, if you add all those up, you should get 50. So the percentage of motorcycles had a tire pressure of 33.5 is 3 out of 50, so it's going to be 6%. What tire pressure occurred the least? It's going to be 2, 36.5, and 37. We call that bimodal. What percentage of motorcycles had a tire pressure above 36? Above 36, I'm going to have to add up the 2 from 36.5, the 2 from 37, and the 2 from 37.5. That's 5. So 5 out of 50 is 10%. All right. Then this next one is use the following set of data items for this problem. Okay, and that means what the frequency means is how often it occurs. So if you look at this first part in the table, it says we have the number 7, and that happens twice. So that means there's actually 2 7s. So the relative frequency of the percent is 2 out of 15. The way I got 15 is I had to add up all of the frequencies. So there's 2 7s, there's 5 8s, there's 7 9s, and there's 1 10. So 1 plus 7 plus 5 plus 2 is 15. That's where that 15 came from. So the percent of 7s is 2 out of 15, 13.3%. The percent of 8s is 5 out of 15. That's 33.3%. The percent of 9s are 7 out of 15. And the percent of 10s, there is 1 out of 15. Okay. The rest of this information I just got from the calculator. So if I pull the calculator up, if I just go into stat, enter, I'm going to clear out what I have in there. Okay, and it is 7. And then in list 2, I'm going to put the frequency that there's 2 of those 7s. Okay. Then there are 8, and there are 5 of those 8s. And then it was 9, and there was 7 of those 9s, and then it was 10, and there was 1 10. So I've put my list into two separate lists, the numbers in L1, the frequencies in L2. Then I'm going to go back to stat. I'm going to right arrow over to calc. Then I'm going to arrow down. Oh, I don't have to arrow down. I want one var stats. So even though I have two lists, because one of the lists is a frequency, I'm still going to do one var stat. Then, and this is important because we haven't really done this, our list of numbers is in L1, but I have to add second to, I have to add L2 so that you can see, they can see the frequency list, the calculator can. Then I'm going to do calculate. Okay, and this is where I can see all of my information. So the mean is 8.5. I rounded that 0.4 to a 5 because the next number was a 6. The median, if I arrow down, median's the next one, is 9. The mode is 9. It doesn't show up here, but since there's more 9s than any other number, I know that's the mode. And the range, I just do the highest value minus the lowest value, and I get 8. 10 minus 2 is 8. Okay. All right, next question. You want to head south in February for a nice warm vacation so that you can lay out in the sun all day by the pool. You look up the average high temperature of Austin, Texas and Tampa Bay, Florida in February, and they are both 80 degrees. Also, you find Austin has a standard deviation of 15 degrees, while Tampa Bay has a standard deviation of 3 degrees. Which place will you vacation? Justify your answer with an explanation. You did not have to draw what I drew. I just did this to show you what's happening. So this first curve is Tampa. I put a T. 80 is the mean, so it goes in the middle. And then the second curve is Austin with an A. 80 is still the mean, so I put it in the middle, right? So they both have the same mean. However, Tampa's standard deviation is 3. So it goes 80, and then I add 3, 83, then I add 3 more, 86, then I add 3 more, 89. This way. And then going down, it was 80, then it was 77, 74, and then 71. So what this means, if you remember our 68, 95, 99.7 rule, is that 99.7% of the time in February in Tampa, the temperature is going to be between 71 degrees and 89 degrees. So you can almost count on it being somewhere in between there. If you look at the Austin one, though, since the standard deviation is 15 degrees, I only went 2 standard deviations because after 80, we had 95 and then 110, and the next one would be so hot, I don't think it probably ever gets that hot in Austin anyway, so I just stopped it there, and then down to 75, and then 60, and the next one would have been 45, right? But so what we know is that if I would have written those other numbers, that 99.7% of the time the temperature in Austin in February is between 45 and 125, well, that actually doesn't tell you much. It could be like super hot or it could be super cold. Not super cold, but not lay out by the pool warm. So there's no right or wrong answer. You could say, I would like to go to Austin because it's a crapshoot. Who knows what the temperature is going to be? I want to see that. But your answer should probably be, I want to go to Tampa because I know the temperature is going to be a temperature that I could lay out by the pool with, right? But as long as you explain what's going on, even if you are funny, you'll get the right answer there. All right. A recent poll showed that 61% of adult Americans are comfortable with the legalization of marijuana, with a margin of error of 2%. This implies that the percent of adult Americans that are comfortable with the legalization of marijuana is between what two values? Well, 61% is my middle, and then if my margin of error is 2%, I go down 2 to 59, right? So 61 minus 2 is 59. And then I also go from the middle of 61 and I add 2 and I get to 63. So between the percent are between what two values is between 59 and 63%. So based on this poll, we can conclude that the majority of Americans are comfortable with it because 59%, the lowest value there, is still above 50%. So the majority do agree. Okay. If it had been less, if this 59% had been less than 50%, then you could not conclude that. All right, the mean weight of a baby hamster. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stop this one and do that one next time.